I never leave a house without my strap. I'ma keep that. Niggas out for not talking that flap. We gon' sweep that, yeah.
Matthew 25. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps, and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps, and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose, and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell, and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not.
Hey, Shalom. All praises to Yahawashi, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. And much honors to you brothers that's in the spirit in these last days. That's not exalted, that's not out there high, and that's not out there trying to be the greatest. Because there's no one greater than our Lord. The Lord even said he wasn't good. So for men to be great, that's very foolish. And if you were great in this world, you probably were great in Sodom and Gomorrah too. But much honors to you brothers that's in the spirit. I'm gonna go into Matthew 25, and I'm gonna break down the foolish things that guys are fucking doing in these last days. And this is not a place where we're supposed to get fame and being exalted for teaching his word and trying to be like the most known and shit like that, because as you look at and see these things, the spirit of the Lord, right? Because a lot of you guys in these camps, you think the spirit of the Lord is a spirit of coming together. You know, the spirit of the Lord is a spirit of division, man. It's not unity right now. And the scriptures say, don't follow a multitude to do evil. But the Lord is bringing a division right now. And you know, the things that we've been saying, man, we're not playing around with this thing. These scriptures, if you pay attention to these scriptures, they're told men are very adverse to what these scriptures is actually saying. They're really adverse to them because they're of the world teaching the scriptures. And it's a lot of when the scriptures talk about Matthew 25, the 5 were wise and 5 were foolish. A lot of guys are doing very foolish things, you know, just as these elders, you know, starting with the leaders and the elders. Yeah, they're teaching the word, but where's the double honors to their elders that taught them? Where's their double honors at? But you have to give them double honors. And then on top of that, Yahawashi didn't receive honor of men. He was always running from his life. The elders and the chief priests always wanted to kill him. So where the hell is the honor at in that? And like in this parable, these men, they're out of oil. So what they have left is just the world. That's what they have. And we know, guys, they sneak on our page, and they hearing what we saying, but they cannot bring out most of the things that we're bringing out, because this is to their shame. They're ashamed of like this part of the gospel, because they have taken the high seats and they have taken the foolish route to this truth. And that's exactly what guys have done. And the Lord is speaking. You know, guys can hide us and sneak on our page and act like we're not saying anything, but the Lord is actually speaking, and he's telling you guys that you're going off and you're going to be destroyed. That's why he said, and later in his verse, that he didn't fucking know your ass. He didn't know you. He know you not. The Lord knows you not, man. So the foolish virgins, they're going to be doing all the shit of the world. And, I've broken down this chapter, but I want to break it down a little bit more, because the foolish virgins, they go into the tares. They go into the tares. And when Yahawashi, when I read that parable in Matthew 13, he's letting you know that the tares are going to be bundles of them. They are going to be bundles of tares. Now, what I want to do, I want to go into that word wise, and then I'm going to go into that word foolish. And then I'm going to break down all this foolish shit that these guys are doing with this word. As we've been telling guys, these guys receive double honors, and they don't give double honors to their elders before they ask. They don't say double honors to their elders. And remember, Yahawashi, he didn't receive honor of men. When you go to John chapter 5, it even says it in John chapter 8. And he lets you know that a prophet is without honor in his own country, man. So right there, you're dealing with guys that have an ulterior motive. And you're dealing with guys that's false prophets, because they say you have to honor them, but then they're not honoring the ones that actually, they're not giving double honors to the men before them. And so as guys grow old, when you go to the story of Susanna, because nobody never fucking reads that story, those old elderly men got old and fucking corrupt. You see, they got old and corrupt. And that's what tends to happen the longer you stay in this captivity. And the longer and the more you have power, what's fucked up is what's the truth is, the longer you stay in this truth, but the longer you have power, like sitting high, that corrupts you automatically. You're automatically disqualified from the Holy Spirit. You're automatically disqualified. That's what these guys are not telling you. Now, because Jake is good with this knowledge and making this shit sound so good for the world and everybody, they eat that shit up because they don't study. But according to the scriptures, men grow old, and especially if you're sitting in a certain seat and growing old in that seat, waxing all these years, 30, 40 years or whatever, then you automatically are fucking corrupt on them high seats. And that's the truth. So now, that's why we say these camps and these groups, they become the wide gate, because their leaders are erring now. They're erring. They're adding. They're taking away from the scriptures. They're not in the spirit. The men under them are just some fucking clout-chasing, power-hungry men. Like that dude, Cora, SC narrator. All he's just in this for is just to chase the fame and the clout. And he got what he wanted. You see what I'm saying? See, the Lord gives you what you really want. If you wanted power, fame, and clout, and to make money off of this truth and not be sincere, you really get what you want. But just know there are going to be men out here that have the spirit, and they're going to be cussing your ass out because you're stealing from the Lord's word. The Lord said, that's one of the 10 commandments. You shouldn't steal. So you're stealing if you're taking people's money in tithes, and you're not even giving them the correct spirit of the Lord, and you're not even being 100 with this truth. Guys are being 50 with this truth. They're not being 100. A lot of you guys are in the middle, and all you guys that's in the middle, you're in the forefront. You're not all the way for this thing. Just like the scriptures say, the wolf come and the sheep, they gonna scatter. Now, guys have already scattered in the mind because they're not teaching our people how to actually be in the spirit. They're just telling them a bunch of this shit, but then meanwhile, they're teaching this truth in an ulterior motive. So you have the foolish virgins, which are the tares, which are you guys that exalt yourself. Now that word foolish, I want to get that word first, because when you understand men are taking this truth and they're moving very foolishly, and because a lot of you guys, you care about clout and fame more than you care about the actual truth. See, guys care about being exalted and knowing somebody and being famous more than they actually care about the truth. Now this word foolish right there,
Strong's G 3474, moras. moras.
Right, that word foolish in Matthew 25, it says foolish, impurous, godless. So they don't have God in them. That's why we show emotion and they don't really show emotions at all, because the spirit is not there. The world is there. You see, so they're teaching to the world. And when you teach to the world, you really can't be offensive. You know, you have to come smooth, and that's what these guys are doing. They're coming real smooth, so they won't offend everybody. Matthew 7:26, and everyone that heareth these words of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house on the sand. And that's you guys, man. You're a bunch of fucking fools. You've taken the high seat. You've made reputations for yourself. You've added, you took it away from the scriptures. You have become a part of you have become great in this world. You're great in this world. Guys are great in this world. You got the name great in this world. And that scripture is referring to America being destroyed. But the thing about it is, you wasn't supposed to exalt yourself great in this world. You see, that's not what this word was used for. It wasn't used to do these to have these big ass camps of like 30 men. That's not where the spirit is, man. The Lord sent the prophets out 2 and 2, and nobody never brings that out. You got this clown. He snuck on my page and went into that story a lot, which you can't butcher that story a lot. Lot was the only one that got delivered. So the Lot was the only one righteous, man. You know, he tried to make it seem like it was more people that was righteous. No, it was just Lot and his daughters. Even his wife got destroyed, and the Lord destroyed all 5 of them cities. So a lot of you guys are trying to damage control and tone down what the scriptures and the spirit is saying, because you guys are on the other end of the scriptures. You're foolish and you're godless. That's what that word foolish mean in Matthew 25. Because according to Matthew 7, it says, everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which I built his house upon the sand. A lot of you guys, because you have taken this world, you have built your house upon the sand. You see? So Matthew 25 and 2. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 of them were foolish. Right, so the foolish, according to, we're going to come back here. The foolish, they're going to be a part of this world, so the world's going to hear them. Now, what guys don't understand is, when you're a part of the world, then you're speaking as a part of the world. You're speaking as the world speaketh. That's why the Lord told you that you have to be in his spirit, because if you're not in his spirit, then you're looking for the love of the world. That's what you're looking for. Yeah, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for the love of this world. Luke chapter 14, verse 7. He put forth a parable to those that were bidding. Luke 14 and 7. And he put forth a parable to those which were bidding, when he marked how they chose out the chief room, saying unto them, when thou art bidding of any man to a wedding, sit not in the highest room, at least more honorable man, that thou be bidding of him. And he bade thee and him come and say unto him, get this man place. Thou begin with shame to take the lowest room. But when thou art bidding, go sit down in the lowest room, that when he that bade cometh, he may say unto thee, friend, go up higher than thou. Then shalt thou have worship and praises of them that sit and meet with thee. For whosoever exalted himself shall be abased, and he that humble himself shall be exalted. And men are not humble, they have exalted themselves. To say you're great and the Lord said he wasn't good, he says no one good, that means you're exalting yourself. If you got that title, you're great. That's why they're leading a lot of guys to destruction, just because of the title and the vibration that shit gives. Like I said, if you great in this world, you was probably great in Sodom and Gomorrah. So the Lord said, when you're bidding to the wedding, sit not in the highest room. So these are one of the things that they're breaking, which is heavy to break, because when you go back to the prophets in the Old Testament, they were slaying men and they were on a run. They were at war. David was killing thousands. You know, Samuel was a warrior. When you go back to Elijah, Elisha, Obadiah had to hack prophets in the caves by 50, because this wasn't no thing of cloud or of this world. Men have made this truth of the world, man. That's why they are foolish for doing that. And because they are so drunken off of the wine and the fornication and the ways of this world, they're not gonna like turn back and do the right thing. They're too far gone. So what has to happen is brothers like us have to like teach this thing, because we're not exalted, and so that allow us to be in the right mind teaching these scriptures. Now with being exalted and praised and highly liked in this world, you're not in the right mind frame to actually teach this word in the right way. You see what I'm saying? That's why the Lord told you not to make a reputation of yourself or to sit in the highest seat. You see what I'm saying? And I used to be in there. I used to be in these camps. I've been putting together camps for over the last decade, man. And when I started to get high and exalted and more and more and more, the Lord took me out of that and knocked me off that fucking horse. You see, like he did Paul. He knocked me off that horse and he humbled me. He took me out of that, which was the best thing that could ever happen to me with this truth. I tell you that because we're more stronger than ever and we could see. And that's what the Lord did. He knocked me up out of there, and that was the best thing. So as for me, I don't have any grudges against anybody. I'm actually happy that everybody came in my life and they did what they were supposed to do. Need to be a betrayer or a scumbag or a real brother. I'm thankful. I'm thankful, man. I'm really thankful, because a lot of you guys are really foolish because you're sitting high. So now you have that spirit on you of the world where you think you should be somebody and exalted, and you think the Lord owe you something. And you think, and you know, like a lot of you guys, you receive that consolation that it talks about in Luke chapter 6. So that is a lot of the foolish versions. And that word foolish goes into godless. So the Lord is not really with these guys that were foolish teaching the word. And you remember Matthew 25, these are men that were teaching the word too. You see, so that's why they come on our fucking channels and they listen to what we say, and they can't bring out what we're bringing out. They bring out some of our shit, you know, some of the things we say, but they really can't go into what we're bringing out because this exposes their ass. See, it's real over here. This is real over here. Guys that's exalted and out there, you know, that's famous and great in that, they can't be real with you because they want to maintain that reputation or that greatness. You understand that? But when you're low already, can't nobody knock you down because you're already down there already. So therefore, the spirit will not deal with fucking guys on high. Philippians chapter 2, verse 7. But made no reputation, but made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of men. So you're not supposed to make yourself of no reputation with this truth. Verse 8, and being found fashioned as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient. So doing what the Lord said, going back to Matthew, what was that, 7 I just read? That word for foolish. So going back to Matthew real quick. Right, because we have to thoroughly teach this thing, and we're being heard. We're being heard by guys, man. But the thing is, they're gone. They're gone. They're of the world. They think that because they're famed and their esteem that they're okay. But you're not doing what the Lord told you to do. He told you to take the low. This is Matthew 7:26 again. It says, "And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine, doeth them not, shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house on the sand." So a lot of you guys are very foolish. You're very foolish. Matthew 25. Matter of fact, yeah, okay. So the word foolish goes into godless, man. Impious. That word impious, foolish, godless. Right. So you have to understand the tares. When you go back to Matthew 13, the tares also represent the foolish virgins, which the foolish virgins, they're godless. They're going to hold themselves highly esteemed. They're going to put themselves up there. They're going to have a reputation in this world, and the world's going to hear them, and they're not going to be in the spirit. That word foolish goes into godless. So you're not in the spirit of the Lord at all. That's why guys hate us, because they're not in the spirit. So if you notice with these camps like Great Millstone and Sakari and all these camps, they're all the same. And they have a whole bunch of fucking men, when the scripture tell you that when 2 or 3 are gathered, I'm in the midst. And the Lord sent the prophets out 2 and 2. So they just say fuck all that, and they gather these big ass unity camps, when the majority of these guys, they don't even fucking believe. They just want to be seen. Yeah, a lot of guys, they just want to be seen, man. They want to be seen like they're with the popular camp and this, that, and the third. But they don't understand that the spirit is not there. So all you guys gathered together, that's not of the Lord. That's not of the Lord, because the Lord said, I come to bring a sword. He's bringing division. He's not bringing peace right now and guys coming together. The Lord's not with that shit. That's man shit. What man is doing, bringing these unity camps together. The Lord said, I'm bringing a sword and division. That's the spirit of the Lord, and that's the spirit that we're in. We're not in that spirit. The Lord is not in that spirit. That's not the spirit of the Lord. That's the spirit of the world. Now that word impious, it says not pious, lacking reverence or proper respect. Guys are not respecting the Lord. They don't respect the Lord, man. They don't care about what the Lord say. So these guys are very foolish. They're the foolish versions. That's why the Lord said the door was shut on their ass. Now, the other words for, it says, lacking reverence or proper respect as for God or one's parents. Irreverent. It says blasphemous, irreverent, profane, sacrilege. Look at that. So these guys are blasphemous and they're profane. They're actually outside the temple of the Lord. Even though guys are teaching this truth, they're outside of the temple because they took the high seat and because they made reputation, because what they have done. You see? And the Lord didn't come in that spirit. He said he came what? Meek and lowly. Right, so these guys are irreverent. They're not in agreement with Yahawashi either. Right, so this clown tried to break down Lot, and Lot was the only one that got delivered. The Lord destroyed all those cities, man. He didn't care about none of them guys. Yeah, he did go to I think his brother, but his brother laughed at him, so that didn't make him righteous. So a lot of you guys are teaching this word without the spirit, and you know that the spirit is against you. You see what I'm saying? You know it. because the spirit doesn't deal with guys on high. It doesn't deal with guys on high. It deals with men on the low. So guys have reputations. They have taken the highest seat in the room. They have exalted themselves. They have made a name for themselves. They're not in the spirit, and they're godless. So I'm gonna go into that word wise real quick. Because according to the scriptures, guys are breaking these scriptures. It's other things guys are breaking too. I'll be all day, but brothers watch our videos, so they know like a bunch of shit that they're going off in. And the scriptures say rebuke not an elder. That just only means to strike. So you can actually tell elders if they're going off, okay? You got these men like your SC narrators and your Yashawambas, which these guys are totally corrupt in a nice way. They come off nice to you because they're corrupt. They're not in the spirit of the Lord. The Lord was in a severe off-steer spirit. These guys are not off-steer. They're not. They are the foolish versions, which are going to get many destroyed. Just like the apostles, these old men, these elderly men, and they know they're corrupt too. But they have to maintain this image so they could destroy many. You see, because they have a job to do. The false prophets, they have a job to do too. Don't get me wrong. But where we come in at is to give guys vision to see these motherfuckers so they could get away from them. You see, and that's what the Lord brought. He brought the vision. That's the spirit the Lord brought. The Lord came to give men sight to see so they get away from the crowd. All these major groups are tainted. Everybody sitting up high, that God is not there. The scripture said the word foolish goes into godless, profane. These guys are outside the temple, but they're saying they're in the temple, but they're not actually of the Lord, which is heavy. That's why the Lord said in Matthew 24, there'll be many false prophets and false Christs and anointings. And he also said in 1 John 4 that the world will hear them because they're of the world. But they're saying they're of the Lord, but they're really not of the Lord, because the men of the Lord, they won't be out there like that. You see, these guys will put themselves out there. Like in Matthew 23, it says all they do is to be seen of men. Even certain guys going out every day. Like I say, you got certain guys going out every day and they're not even really in that spirit of rebuking. They won't even say nothing about shit. So you have many false prophets that's out there, man. You have many guys out there, you see, that's not really standing for the Lord all the way. A lot of guys just want to be seen of men. And that's what the Lord told us in Matthew 23. So guys are teaching his word without really understanding Matthew 23 and putting it into today. You see, in these big famous groups. The word of the Lord was supposed to go out and men were supposed to teach and it's supposed to go out. You know what I'm saying? But the way guys are taking this truth, they act like the Lord owed them something, so they supposed to be famous and get clout and money and get paid. You see, it ain't like that though. It's not like that. So that's why now we're at a point now where guys have taken his word and exalted themselves, and they think the Lord owed them some shit, which a lot of guys, they receive their backdoor deals and their consolation. So now what we have to do is make sure we tell brothers that a lot of corruption is amongst these camps, so they won't fucking be destroyed with these camps. And a few guys that's in there that's asking questions, they'll be able to get to that phone booth. Now that word wise in Matthew 25, like I just broke down foolish. So this word wise.
Strong's G 5429. Phronimos.
All right, it says intelligent, wise, prudent, i.e. mindful of one's interest, wise. So you have the wise, which Matthew 7:24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these words of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which buildeth his house upon the rock. And when you build your house upon the rock of the Lord, that means that You're going to be in the Lord's spirit, and you're going to walk as the Lord. Like the Lord said, drinking his blood and eating his flesh. That means you're doing exactly what he did. Not being famous with this, not mingling yourself with the multitudes in this world. Man, you see these guys do these unity camps and shit like that, bro. That shit's of the world, man. The Lord didn't come to bring peace. He came to bring a sword. I guess guys forget these scriptures. See, guys have made this truth of the world, man. So every one of you guys in these camps, you don't know it, but you're of the world. And you're under guys that's highly satanic. These guys are satanic. But you guys can't see it because you're blinded and you're in the respect of persons. You guys respect these guys' persons, and that's demonic too. You guys are not able to tell guys when they're going off and they're wrong, and you can't accept when you're wrong. You see, we accept when we're wrong, and actually we like to tell guys when we like it when guys tell us we're wrong. That's sincere, because that's love of the Lord. The Lord is allowing you guys to mingle and to be in that demonic spirit, because you guys are used to gather those bundles of those tares. Now going back to the wise, Matthew 7:24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken to him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. Matthew chapter 7 and 24. Matthew 24:45. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom the Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give him meat in due season? So the Lord's going to make his true men rulers, which are wise. And actually the Lord have made us overseers in the spirit, while these guys are overseers in the world. See, what they have is what the world can see, and what we have is more important, is the spirit. Matthew 10:16. Behold, I send you forth as wolves. Be therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Right? You have to be wise. The Lord has those wise men. Right? The Lord said, be not wise in your own consent, but be of one mind. And these guys are wise in their own fucking eyes. You see? And one thing that what the elect were going to do, the house of David, they were going to actually please the Lord, man. They're going to please the Lord, like the scripture tells you what David did. He actually pleased the Lord. And you got to understand that, because it's all about doing what the Lord said. Like the scriptures say, he that is wise is going to hear the Lord's word, and they're going to actually do them. You see what I'm saying? So what we're dealing with guys that just want to do their own thing. Elders and fucking men and shit like that. They want to do their own thing and then say they're of the Lord. It doesn't work that way. Because that name great is not a humble name. That the word great means that you're exalted yourself already. So anyone part of that camp, they are in that same spirit. You see? So the elect, they're going to be in the spirit of fulfilling what the Lord said and what the Lord wanted them to do. And that's what you have to understand about this truth. Acts chapter 13, verse 22. And when he had removed and raised up, and he raised up unto them David to be their king, to whom also he gave a testimony and said, I have found David, son of Jesse, a man after my own heart, which shall fulfill my will. And the men of the Lord, they are of the Lord's heart, and they're going to fulfill what the Lord told them to do. You see, so that's why the wise, they're going to have the oil in their lamp, because they're going to be fulfilling the will of what the Lord said. and they're not going to be part of this world. They're not going to mingle themselves with this world. So what you have going on, you have men that have this truth, which are not of the Lord, but they're still teaching. They're not of the Lord. So it doesn't matter, like all these scriptures guys can pull and shit like that, because on a carnal surface, that's like pulling rabbits out of a hat and like magic tricks. But deep down in the core of these guys, the Spirit of the Lord really is not there. So it's like they're doing the same thing that these pastors are doing in the churches. You see, the only difference with these guys, they have a little bit more knowledge and info. But you got to see through that knowledge and info and see if the Spirit's there. So the Spirit cannot dwell with guys that's on high. So now going back to Matthew 25:4, it says, "But the wise took their oils with their lamps, and while the bridegroom tarries, they all slumbered and slept." Now remember too, in Matthew 22, the Lord invited many men to the wedding, but everybody didn't have a garment. So remember that. And the Lord gathered the tares in bundles. So it's a lot of them. And now the foolish virgins, the Lord is telling you too, that he's going to shut the door on their ass. So it's a time coming where the door is actually going to be set of mercy. And that's going to be it. And you guys that are amongst the deceitful and the famous and the proud and the ones that have reputations, you're going to be destroyed with their ass. See, a lot of these guys, they've taken back, so they can't really go back. You see, guys are doing these sit downs in these fucking nice plushed out homes and shit like that, showing you that something is going on, showing you that guys have taken that high road. You see, but anyway, it says, "While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And when midnight was made, behold, the bridegroom coming. Go ye out to meet him. And all those virgins arise and trim their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are going out." So all this time, the foolish virgins, they wasn't doing what the Lord said. They was being foolish. So now they want to come and get some light of ours. But it's not you. We don't have anything to give you guys, because you're not even in the Spirit. You're not even in the Spirit. You have your consolation already. So how the hell are you going to get saved when you got what you seek for? Guys have gotten their positions, they clout, and they fame, and they made their money. So what the fuck else are you looking for out the Lord? He gave you what you wanted. Now it says, "The foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are going out." And these guys know that their lamps are out. But the wise said unto them nothing. It said unto them, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. Go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourself. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they were ready, and went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterward came the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open unto us. But he answered and said unto them, Verily I say unto you, I know ye not. Death to all you wicked motherfuckers out there. And peace to you brothers that's in the Spirit, man. That's really in the Spirit. That's not exalting. All you brothers that's actually hidden in the Lord, that's of the Lord, man. Just hold your position and continue to grow in the Spirit, because this thing is from the inside out, not the outside in. These camps are grown from the outside. They haven't grown in the inside, so the Lord is not in them. And that word foolish goes into godless. So you have the majority of these guys, they're teaching this word without the Lord. And with that, hey, shalom.